Hi, everyone. Lance Allan here. Time for another Quickie driver development update. Yes, I have home state pride. My Wisconsin guy, Bryce Miller, getting through the 2025 season. He now joins us. And Bryce, how would you evaluate your season in 2025, and what were kind of some of the highlights for you this year?
Yeah, for sure. It's been up and down season. I would describe it as a season of just true grit and determination. Obviously, there's a lot of uphill battles that we faced, and as a team that's purely operated just off sponsorship and mom and pop, as you could say, race team, what we went through was just unbelievable. And to finish the year like we did was pretty remarkable after destroying our race car, our one and only race car, just like Allen did back in the day. Labor Day weekend on Saturday, we had completely destroyed it. Car in front of us completely blew his engine, oil everywhere, and six of us head first in the wall. We rebuilt it, drove to North Carolina, got a new chat or new stub put on, and rebuilt it for Oktoberfest, and had speed there. And unfortunately, an oil leak really kind of derailed our weekend. And then went to the Dells, and we're top five in all the practices, and we're running good in the feature, and our clutch blew apart, unfortunately. So we just really didn't get to show our true potential, but I believe this is just the beginning for us. We're going to reach the mountaintop here, and we showed we had speed and we showed we could do it. We just got to have a little luck to go along with it.
And speaking of the mountaintop, Bryce, a lot of times people say, yeah, it's really easy when you're winning all the time and you're at the top of the mountain, but you really find out the character of people or the true grit when you're more in the valley or you're trying to climb that mountain. Is that something that you learned this year?
100%. I was just had an interview with Mark Martin, and he goes, "If you're winning, you aren't learning." And so to say we didn't learn anything this year would be absurd. And man, there's so much that I didn't know about my race car from the beginning to what I know now. Completely rebuilt it, and just my knowledge of the overall race car has just grown exponentially. So really going to look forward to bringing that into next year and into the future. So we showed we could do it, proved we could do it. Just need a little luck, as anything with racing. There's a lot of factors that go into it, and luck is always one to have on your side.
And then I know totaling your race car may be memorable, but probably for all the wrong reasons. But what was maybe one of the more memorable or better experiences that you had in 2025?
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of them. There was a lot of sleepless nights where, the sun would be coming up and it's time to go in and shower and go to work. But that's just kind of the sacrifice and the grit we showed all season long. But there's a lot of highlights, a lot off the track too, not just on the track. We were able to raise $1,500 for the Badger Honor Flight, which sponsors about three veterans to go to Washington, D.C. Uh, on a memorial trip. And then another real cool project that's really close to the program is we raised money for the restoration project of the Underbird. It was in a Hooters in Vegas for a long time and kind of just got beat up and distorted. So we're going to use that funds and give it to the or not to the program, but to the restoration project for them to help restore the Underbird and put it back in the NASCAR Hall of Fame for where it's going to be forever, which is really cool to say I had a part in that.
That is truly awesome. Very, very, very cool. And then, Bryce, just, listening to you or whatever, yeah, you had a lot of things to overcome, a lot of mechanical issues. And that's something that you can't always, manage or fix or whatever you want to say. Things happen in racing. So, what was the ultimate lesson, or what was the ultimate story that you take from 2025 going forward to 2026?
There's so many. I think we just proved to ourselves and proved to everyone that we have what it takes, and we're never going to give up. You can keep knocking us down. We're going to keep coming back swinging. So to go through what we did, I mean, we had two engines and a completely destroyed race car in less than about 3 months there, and we came back and we never missed a race. And like I said, we didn't get a lot of sleep this summer, but we're still here standing tall, and we're ready to get back after it next year.
What's it like to pull an all-nighter? It's been a few, years or a few moments for me.
Well, it's fine the first couple nights. Like you can do it and you're fine. It's that second when you're doing it for week after week, it will catch up to you, let me tell you. So we were able to the night before we left for Oktoberfest, I slept until about 8 o'clock and it felt like I slept for 3 days. So it was all right. In this sport, you have to do whatever it takes, right? And just like Alan did, I'm sure they did a lot of things like that nature. And so when you're a small team, you gotta go above and beyond and do what others wouldn't do. So we proved we can do it, and yeah. still standing here.
Did you take any inspiration from Ty Majeski? Because obviously he didn't have the year maybe quite that he wanted to have as far as defending his championship. And he even admitted in the post race after the championship that like June, that early part of the summer, they just didn't seem like they were on it. You know, they were kind of just a little off or whatever. But for him to not go down without a fight, and we all know in Wisconsin that he is a former Kowicki winner, and for him to finish second and to see the year that Corey Heim had, hey, there's nothing you can do about that. But literally, Ty did not go down without a fight and finished runner up and did probably about the best that he could do. How much did you notice that, and how much did that inspire you?
Yeah, it really did. And both Majeski and Kowicki, right? They don't, especially Kowicki, didn't have the resources, didn't have the funding. So they had to do things different. And we could have thrown in the towel countless times. And we just kept coming back and rebuilding and trying again. And the cool part was we had speed, right? If we just could have had a couple things go right, it could be a completely different outcome. But I don't regret any of it. I would do it all over again just to show the fight and character our team had. And I think we gained a lot of respect around the pit area just because of what we went through and our team. And as you can see on my Facebook follower, I almost doubled my Facebook followers just this summer, just because people gave us a lot of respect and credibility. And so I don't regret any of it. And we were first and second in the first two segments. So I'm hoping to follow that up and maybe we can come home with a championship. So you never know how these things go. And we nailed every other category. The on track would have been better. It could have been better. But like I said, just got to have little things go right, and it very well could have. But we were at every single race, and for what we went through, it's pretty remarkable to finish out the 14 race segment.
Now that the racing season kind of ended in the Midwest, what are your goals for 2026? Do you have some races that are already penciled into the schedule? What are you thinking?
Yeah, I think it's going to be a similar schedule to what we ran this year. We're so blessed up here in Wisconsin that you can't, I mean, you could point at any super late model race in the entire state or the Midwest, and you know it's the best guys in the entire country are going to be there. So not too often can you go against Ty Majeski and Johnny Sauter and Casey Johnson and Andrew Morrissey, all these guys every single week at all these different racetracks you get to go against. So I don't plan to leave the state or the Midwest much because we have everybody that everything you'd ever want is right here in the Midwest. So we're probably going to chase our ASA Midwest Tour, hit some alive for 5 races, and then try to work our way over to Slinger a little bit more, the Allen Quickie Memorial for sure, and some other races there as well.
I feel like we always kind of somewhat talk about it, but I think when we're in this space and promoting obviously the Kawicki driver development program, we can't emphasize it enough. So what has been part of your experience with this whole thing meant to you, and how has it impacted you as a driver and as a person and as just somebody who loves racing?
Yeah, it's been an absolutely unbelievable experience, and I knew it was my dream to make this program, but it's been way more than I ever thought it would be. I've grown so much as a person and a racer throughout this entire program, and the people and the lives we've changed along the ways just goes so far, and it means a lot. And I never knew the impact that my platform of being a race car driver could have, even at this local level. So to raise money for all the different agent or organizations we did has been awesome. And then just the people you're working with. Not too often can you have two 1992 championship crew members come to your race at Oktoberfest and help you out in the pits, right? So just the connections and the people you've been able to meet along the way, and it's ultimately enhanced my racing, right? They've shared so many different stories. My mentor, Danny Cameron's just explained like, I thought I was going crazy with how much work we were doing in the shop. And he's like, this is just another week in the Allen Quickie shop. So they've all been there, done that, and it was cool to kind of relate that, even though it's 30 some odd years later, it's still kind of the same passion, same race team, one car, family operation, and a lot like Alan did, which is ultimately what the program's alike.
Oktoberfest in West Salem, Wisconsin, West Salem Speedway. I've been there myself many a time. And you mentioned kind of the changes or some of the things that this program has meant to you. Can you even speak more specifically, Bryce, to what has changed in your mind? What's changed in your driving style? How has it improved and changed you?
Yeah, obviously, when you're a one car operation, you gotta not race different, but you gotta be smart about how you do things, and you gotta allocate the right resources to all these different things. So you just gotta be smart with your time because it's me and my dad in the shop, right? So We kind of have to divide and conquer, and then just the true determination and grit that a small race team has to have. I thought we had what it took before the year, but this year proved a little different, right? So we had to really dig deep, work really hard, and just because you work hard doesn't mean you're always going to get the results, right? So just being smart about it. And I learned so much about the setup and about my race car throughout the entire year. And these cars are always evolving, right? So if you have stuff that you thought figured out and worked last year, it could be completely different this year, right? So the tire change, the tracks change, and so that I love that part about the racing, and it's just made me that much better. The adaptability. We didn't race at one track. We raced at, eight, nine different tracks, and we never repeated a track. So when you do that, you have to be so much better with your note taking and just your adjustability, and you got to be flexible. So just really looking forward to everything that is ahead. The banquet's coming up, and looking forward to 2026 as well.
I don't think Bryce is. Yeah, you dovetailed into my final question perfectly well. The banquet. Let's just. What are you going to soak in? What are you looking forward to the most on December 9th? And like you said, you hope to pull off a championship, but just your thoughts as you get closer to wrapping this thing up for 2025.
Yeah, I think it's important you celebrate and look back at what you accomplished this year. And sometimes you got to soak it all in, right? And then quick move forward to 2026. So it's just going to be awesome to get to the banquet and be around such great people and hear what they have to say. Ryan Newman's the banquet speaker, and it's going to be awesome to hear his stories because they were all in our same shoes before they got to where they were. And just looking forward to that. And as well as all the Kawiki board members and the drivers. You compete all year long, but it'll be good to kind of talk to them and instead of over a Zoom call, you'll be with each other and see all these different tours and all that. So it's going to be an awesome celebration. Really looking forward to it. A lot of my family are coming down and just be awesome to be there in Charlotte that night.
Well, Bryce, we hope that you rest up at the end of 2025, get ready for 2026. Don't pull too many all-nighters in the off season working on the car or improving it. And we will, I'm sure, see you at Slinger or West Salem or one of the many local great tracks in Wisconsin. Thank you for this year. Yeah, you learned a lot, and we hope to see you more in 2026. Thanks, Bryce.
Yeah, it's been an awesome experience doing all these interviews and really looking forward to it. And yeah, thanks again for everything.
No problem. That's Bryce Miller right here, Kawiki Driver Development Program for 2025. Thanks for watching, everybody.